What's up, it's Marco, Sage of Soccer, and we had a lot of things going on in the Premier League this week. I think the biggest game was definitely Manchester United against Arsenal, and a great win for Eric Ten Hag's side. Manchester United are finally starting to look good again. I'm starting to have, the confidence in them that I've really been lacking for a long time. Now, you can't say for sure, because I say this every week. Since Alex Ferguson, we really haven't seen them have a sustained good run, but things are looking promising. Marcus Rashford, we're not sure if he's going to be great, but he's hitting form. And I think a couple of years ago, he was one of the best players in the Premier League on counterattacks. And if he can regain that form and start to become just a really consistent player up top, that's huge for Manchester United to have that guy up top. And I think they can be really good with him. And also, Jadon Sancho, I think he's becoming the world-class player we knew he was at Borussia Dortmund. I think that he's finally got adjusted to the Premier League. He's got a manager who's getting the best out of him. And I think he's being really good. Antony has shown a lot of promise. I know the price tag was insane, but he looks like a very good player. And Bruno, he's still looking like a solid guy in the center of the midfield. And you're going to be adding a Casemiro to that. The defense is really looking good with Varane and Martinez in the partnership. Malassia's looking good at left back. David De Gea, he is David De Gea at this point. Get in an upgrade at right back, somebody who can come in for Scott McTominay, and you've got a really solid team. And I think this Manchester United project is going to work out well. I said before, with Eric Ten Hag, I would not sack him unless you're in the bottom half by December, after Christmas. I want to give him a chance to make this work because I think he could be good for this club. Arsenal is their first sign of weakness this year in the Premier League, and their first game against a top opposition, which is a little bit of a concern, but you can still see the talent in the squad. Gabriel Jesus is still a good player. Martin Odegaard, we have to keep in mind how young this squad is. Not that Manchester United is old, but Odegaard, he personally is seen as a really young player. He's still young, even though I'm pretty sure I knew about him back in 2015. He's still a young player. Saka's still very young. Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, get this team, get everything figured out, and they could be a lot better pretty quickly. I'm still not sold on their midfield. I think it could be a lot better. And their defense, it has talent, but I don't think it's perfect. Ben White, he probably isn't a right back. Saliba, he's kind of still untested. I think he's going to be a great player, but might not be there just yet. And you can see some cracks this Arsenal team. I'm starting to think that just getting to the Champions League will be very good for them this season. But, yeah, you can definitely see the talent. Next, we got Liverpool, who are looking pretty average in a 0-0 draw against Everton. Mohamed Salah's form is starting to become a concern. I don't want to sound the alarms because they're going to get Nunez back. Then they're going to have Diaz. Jota's going to get back to health. Thiago's going to get back to health. But I think just staying in contention until the World Cup is over and you just get a complete rest on a good portion of your players, I think that's going to help them out a ton. But at the moment, there are a little bit of concerns. Everton, I think they're going to be staying up at this point. It's tough to say, but Gordon has really impressed. I know, like Anthony, that price tag that was put on him was insane. But he's looking like a very talented attacker. And then Jordan Pickford, he's just being elite. And the rest of the squad, I kind of like it. Connor Cody, I've been a fan of him for a while. Got a good center back pairing. Just a decent amount of quality throughout the team. I think it looks very good. Next, we had Man City draw against Aston Villa. And City, I'm starting to get concerned about them. I said before, them not winning the Premier League is a failure. Honestly, them probably not winning a double is going to be seen by them as a failure, which just speaks to their expectations. But you're starting to see a little bit of concern. Their attack is I think their depth is getting challenged a lot, and we really need to see everybody in that squad step up. It can't just be Haaland, De Bruyne. You need to make sure their whole team can just help get goals. And defensively, there are some concerns. I think Kyle Walker is really showing his age this year. Or you do have to keep in mind the possibility that, a good amount of these players do have that World Cup coming up, and some of them might be kind of coasting through games, not wanting to get hurt. I don't want to make that accusation, but that is a possibility. And The defense, like, John Stones, he's fine, but, like, I think we know who he is as a player by this point. Aston Villa, they're looking a lot better. I'm still not sold on Gerrard, but their talent was never really a question. Leon Bailey, he's taken a big step forward that I wasn't sure he had in him. Watkins still looks lethal up top. Like, it's a very good squad. In Gerrard's defense, though, I'm watching these games, I can understand dropping Tyrone Mings. I hadn't watched Aston Villa as much last year, so I was like, man, Mings, he's kind of their guy. But no, after seeing him, you can kind of see why you want to get him out of the team. I think it was the wrong call to not sell him if you're going to strip him of the captaincy and just make him ride the bench, but I can understand the rationale. Next, we have Brighton having a really strong game, dominating Leicester, and they're getting a lot of talent out of just all-right players. I think that Graham Potter is probably going to be the England manager, so I wouldn't get too excited about Brighton. Maybe that's my Palace fan bias, but there's a lot to be excited about, and once everybody in the team gets like implanted in, and their talent is really good. I really like Graham Potter as a manager, and a lot to be excited about there. Leicester, on the other hand, things are looking bad. I don't think Tielemans and Maddison want to be there, and I think it's hurting their play. Wilfred Ndidi, he's a very talented defensive midfielder. He's not a center back, and his play at center back is costing the team. Danny Ward just probably is not a Premier League level goalkeeper, like, is what it is. And I'm really not sold on their young players. I'm really not sure about Luke Thomas and Dewsbury Hall being guys who can take Leicester to the next level. And right now, it's not looking very positive for them. Last game saw this week, Newcastle against Crystal Palace. Newcastle, they should have won, even as a Palace fan. Like, you could admit that. They're really showing their quality. Like, depth is coming, and once you get, I'm really excited to see St. Max, Ben, and Isaac play together. Add Bruno, Jolton, like, this Newcastle team is scary because you know they're only going to get better. They're only going to buy more and more top guys, and yeah, it's going to be very fun to watch in the future. Just seeing another really good team in the Premier League, and it's going to be a top 7 sooner rather than later. They're going to be up there with the Tottenhams, the Arsenals, like, of the world. And Crystal Palace, my team, looking all right. I think they really miss Conor Gallagher, and to be fair, Conor Gallagher misses them. I think Elise really needs to get back to like his form. Like, he's come back from injury quickly with Eze and Zaha, and something needs to be decided up top with. I really like the quality of Edouard, but him and Mateta, if you combine them, you probably have a complete striker. But altogether, it's really, they don't really have that guy, and they do kind of need upgrades throughout the squad. Like, is Tyreek Mitchell going to be the guy to carry them into the future? I'm still not sure. They need to get a Joel Ward and Nathaniel Klein replacement soon. Like, I get the idea behind signing Chris Richards, but they really could have used another right back or left back. But yeah, that's all I got to talk about. Good week for the Premier League. United looking very strong, and yeah, that's all I'll talk about. See ya.